but as it came to, center over Houston, and as we saw the floods, we started getting a lot of people on social media asking what is Houston DSA doing to help. um, you know um, we had a fairly we had the privilege of the Houston DSA Twitter account, and to a lesser extent the Facebook account, had a pretty wide audience. um, and so there's this question of what we want, what we should do. And I'll be honest, in those first couple days, or in those first, not days, but I'd say those first, like 24, 48 hours, we had really no idea like what to do. Besides, we threw up I think our first step was we threw up a GoFundMe, or are you caring, one of those crowdfunding sites, and then spread that on social media. So that was the first step. The media aftermath, it's all about, it was all about getting the wet and moldy drywall, carpet, and just all the belongings out of the house, right? And then going through and seeing what you can salvage and what had to go. So that was the the most urgent need there. Then what you saw was people who had before the storm were already on the edge, and the storm came, and then it kind of just threw them kind of just over. Like, I remember we helped out this one lady. She was probably about 80 years old, and her home didn't get flooded, but it had massive roof damage. And it ruined her like mattress. She didn't have a mattress to sleep on. It started getting cold. Like, there were little, like, you literally see between the foundation of the house and the walls, like, see sunlight come through. Um, and so we started seeing a lot more of those, I think. Like, it was is clearly they were not in a good position before, and they had been completely abandoned by any whatever excuse for a welfare system we have here in Texas. Um, and the storm just kind of exacerbated that. Then also, we of course had people, you have to rebuild. Like, it's not enough to have just a house with essentially no walls, no insulation. There was some debate in Houston DSA about whether or not, like, how we could participate in that. Ultimately, we decided that, we're not contractors. We're also don't have a full-time team like other organizations do, that would like administer, pull permits, make sure that, volunteers are properly supervised, contracting licensed plumbers, electricians, and whatnot. Yeah, at a certain point, I think the volunteers started going out to helping other organizations, and doing rebuild work, explicit rebuild work. So that's kind of how that geared up to, or those gears changed. Another one that sticks out is, and I wish I'm terrible with names. I wish I could remember these people's names. I think it was a girl that their family lived in Northeast Houston, and then but she lived out in, I think, New Caney, and she'd come down every weekend to help the folks around there. And come to find out, her home in New Caney had gotten damaged itself, and she had essentially put that off for like weeks, I think actually months. Like, I don't think we got to her place in New Caney until like December. and that was a touching and tragic bit of self-sacrifice there.